So my name is Francesco De Liva. I'm a data scientist and I help venture capital and private equity in processing their data. So I had this privilege of being one of the first person worldwide to work with OpenAI and banks. So I saw how they were planning to use this technology. And for many years I've been doing something similar, but with less effective technology. I would start to do a lot of conference and many investor approach, and their problem was fascinating. So decide, understand if a company will grow a lot, doing the due diligence seems an extremely interesting problem to solve. And our capability also was the right match. And so we start to build for them. And we also saw that there were an opportunity because most of people were still exploring AI, but we thought that the core differentiator would be to focus on data. So Claude or ChatGPT or Gemini, they are all configured to generate an answer. That's why it's called generative AI. And so while in this effort to generate an answer, they don't really try to understand what the company does. So there might be a lot of different information. And so they don't try to resolve and get a holistic view about the company. They just find the most easy to access the data, and then they generate an investment memo, they give you an answer, but that's where why it's getting not really precise and not data driven. So if you analyze more in detail this problem, there are 6 core areas that you need to focus on. So for a fund, a lot of their data is scattered across multiple data sources. Data is incomplete, but that's normal. So there are some missing data. Maybe the founder didn't share some information. Company change over time, so also their data. And so you need to know how to deal with that. And you might have also some inconsistent data source, 5, 6 different places where you find different information. For investors, it's also very important to standardize. So you need to have a taxonomy for industry, business model. And finally, when you analyze a company, you want to give your own lens on it. What is really relevant about the founder? What is attraction? That's very particular for each investor. So only by solving those 6 problems, you can get a very good answer out of your AI. So the takeaway is that all the funds are using now the same AI. It can be different brand, but more or less they have the same brain. So what is their edge? Definitely is not on the AI side. The edge that they can develop is the one about data. It's about having a memory, for example, of 10 years of historical data about their funds, all the people they met, the interconnection between people, company, investment, competitor. And this is not out of the box offered by AI. So by applying a lot of data ingestion and creating an infrastructure for their data, this is what we can provide to a fund to develop their own edge in the new world of AI. So we have a customer that have been adopting this to track all the watch list in an automated way. So we analyze every company, and there could be thousands of companies every week, and we are able to see inflection point. So if the company is growing more than the peers, and then signaling to the investors so they can be the first one to reach out. Or in some other scenario, since we are able to connect to the email, to the transcript, to all the information that a portfolio company or a target is sharing, when they want to do portfolio reporting, when they want to generate an investment memo, that can be done just in one click. So for funds that really adopt this technology, they will have this incredible advantage that once they ask a question, they will have a very accurate and reliable response. They will not end up having 3 different responses every time that they ask the same question. Plus the ability to be proactive. So this technology will help them track a company, but also to make them comparable. And then we noticed that many customers love to build on top of this infrastructure. So they can build their own dashboard, they can build their own app, or they can do a lot of automation that make them be more efficient, save time, or focus their time on what really matters. So we noticed that is helping a lot their limited partner. So the LP are demanding for more transparency, and Kruncher, giving is an infrastructure for knowledge, is able to connect an answer to all these different sources, explaining how they were processed. And so when an LP want to know more, they can easily find all the different information and give a way more traceable, more accurate answer to the LP.